Good morning, family, says CID in the chat. Thank you for that message. Welcome to the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sportsbook born in Vegas. We got a very exciting show for you today, but not the most exciting recap screen. Let's take a look at how we did yesterday. We go 3-4. So we definitely lost you a little bit. Our hockey play comes in. We're going to have another hockey play, another SportsLine pick coming from there today. Mikey B goes 1 for 2. Martin Green is going to look to bounce back today after going 0 for 2. And Buckets hits his play at even money. So we go 3-4. Not a terrible day, but definitely not a good one. We're trying to get into the positive here. And we have been most of March. And it's thanks to some of the people that are about to come onto the show. Let's bring them on. We got a couple of NBA guys with a nice NBA slate tonight. We got Mikey B, we got PropStarz, we got Martin Green, and perhaps most importantly, we've got Goose. PropStarz, how's Goose doing today?
He's doing great. The man of the hour, too sweet to be sour. We've got Goose live in the flesh. We also have a pick on a cat, and I'm not talking about this cat right here, so a little teaser for you guys.
Oh, wow. That is very interesting. Now I know why Goose is front and center right now. Martin Green, how we doing? I know there's probably no soccer today, so you got a couple of picks, but they're for later on in the week, correct?
Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, thanks, Sia. The recap screen is a knife through my heart. Very, very sad. Both picks were on course to win, and both teams conceded in the last minute of the game. So two bad beats. Nigeria conceded in the 90th minute, and then so did Iraq. So won't be betting on them again. But yeah, hopefully we can bounce back today with some weekend picks.
All right, we got a lot of people, and Martin, everybody loves having you on the show. You are entitled to a bad day here and there. I got to just give it to the chat. Please hit the like button if you could. But we've already got the chat kind of giving out picks here. Dano has Cameron Payne's under. We'll get to that maybe later in the show. That's an under PRA of 17.5. Mike McClure is in here. Mark Buckholz says, I'm looking a little blue thanks to my shirt. Let's see. Will we get Sia, first 5 Sia tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe not. But the good news is we've got opening day tomorrow. And I do want to let everybody know. We got Mike McClure in the chat. Ask him anything you want. A-Mags and Matt Snyder are going to start being in here as well. And then on CBS Sports Network today at 12, we're going to be talking some MLB stuff. If you can join us for that, that would be great. Mikey B, let me ask you. You had an interesting day yesterday. You went 1 for 2. But one of those picks was kind of interesting. Just talk to me about that real quick before we get into all our picks today.
Yeah, if you were watching that Grizzlies game, we were on Santi Aldama over 13.5 points. He did not score in the first half, from behind the arc, 0 for 4. Then he scored 9 points in the third quarter. He came to life. He looked great. He played, I think, the entire quarter. And then he sat out the entire fourth quarter because the game was out of hand. So we had 3 scoreless quarters from Santi Aldama. Had 9 points. Man, it was close.
Yeah, that is always interesting. The ebbs and flows of an NBA player prop. Let's get into that right now. We are ebbing and flowing to the New York Knicks, PropStarz. We've got a cat prop, but we're looking at a cat under.
We are indeed. We're fading a cat, and of course, we always back Goose. So we're talking about Karl Anthony Towns here to go under 27.5 points. This may only be available on 1 or 2 majors at 27.5. Still a full unit look for me at 26.5 if that's what you have access to here. But yeah, just a giant number for Cat and what is certainly a difficult matchup on the second half of a back-to-back, playing big minutes. I've talked about this ad nauseum regarding the Knicks. This team is worn out right now. They also seem like there is a major rift between the head coach, Tom Thibodeau, and the core starters, guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, etc. And then we look at the Clippers. They've been playing great basketball. They also are very good defensively. I rate them as a top 5 defense in the NBA. They're particularly stingy against opposing centers as well. I believe they give up the second or third fewest points to opposing centers in the NBA on a per game basis this season. So good spot to fade Cat and what is certainly a difficult matchup against the Clippers.
All right, so we're fading Cat. We have some questions in the chat that I actually want to get to kind of right away, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. but there was a birthday shout out that I'm looking for in the chat, and maybe Ben can help me out with it because it was Aaron Bailey. I don't want to get his daughter's name wrong. It's her 6th birthday. There it is. Today is my youngest daughter's 6th birthday. This, of course, is from Aaron Bailey. Her name is Madison Grace. Can I get a shout out, Sia, to her? Happy birthday, Madison Grace. Let's go around the horn. How about we all say happy birthday to Madison Grace? Mikey B, you start.
Yeah, happy birthday, Madison. Here, 6 is a big one. My son's going to be 6 in June, so you're in a fun age there, Aaron. Enjoy.
Martin Green.
Yeah, happy birthday, Madison Grace. Many happy returns. One of my children is 6, and he's full of energy. So, yeah, good luck.
PropStarz.
6, a great age. Happy birthday, Madison Grace. Hope it's a special one.
How about 4 happy birthdays from the Early Edge crew? There was a question. I'm going to transition to a different NBA game. We have the cat pick. We're going to have 2 more picks from you, Mikey B. I look at this NBA slate, and it looks pretty interesting to me. I think there's some interesting games, which you can't really say every day of the NBA slate these days, right? Lakers visiting the Pacers. Now, I think this is an interesting game from a side standpoint. Lakers kind of stumbling a little bit. They're still 1-point favorites at most books. It's basically a pick 'em. But we did have somebody in the chat, Tay Mula, asking, well, he's not asking. He's just giving out a pick. Tyrese Halliburton assists over 9.5. God, that seems high. PropStarz, talk to me.
Yeah, so Halliburton has been just piling up the assists. I believe he's had double-digit assists in 10 of his last 11 games, maybe even more. But yeah, he's looking like Tyrese Halliburton that we saw over the past 2 years. Got off to a really rough start this season, was dealing with a variety of injuries, but he's quietly been playing tremendous basketball. The Lakers, as far as a dance partner is concerned, they play very slow. They've started even playing slower with the addition of Luka. They've also been good defensively. So, well, I do like the fact that the Pacers are at home, but I don't necessarily think the Lakers are an optimal matchup. I'd lean over on the 9.5 assists, but not something I'm rushing out to play.
Mikey B, any opinion on that prop or this game in general?
Yeah, I would also lean towards the over on Halliburton simply because it's an important game for the Pacers, and it should be a close game. So opportunity should be there. Just like Proppy said, the Lakers are a slow team. Luka likes to play slow. That's what he likes to do. You think of Luka as a great passer, and he does all these different things, but he likes to play slow and use his big body against these teams that can't defend him. So, yeah, they do play at a slow pace, but I would still lean the over for Halliburton.
Yeah, it's Adam says Halliburton is over 9.5 assists in the last 11 games straight. At some point, there's a watch out, and maybe the pace of this game is the watch out here. So just always keep the context, pace, things like that these guys, PropStarz and Mikey B, are keeping in mind. All right. Oh, by the way, PropStarz, I'm going to go to you in a second. We've got some darts action in the chat. People talking darts, which must mean like Danny Brasco was in there talking niche sports. PropStarz, you had one follow-up.
Just wanted to say hit rate is extremely overrated, in my opinion. There's like zero context with hit rate often as well. And just because someone's done something 11 times in a row doesn't mean they're going to do it a 12th timer. And in my opinion, doesn't really give you any additional reason why someone's going to do it, for instance, 12 times in a row. So just wanted to put that out there.
I mean, the game theory in me tells me they're almost like trying to bait you into the over because of that hit rate. And so why isn't it one higher, things of that nature? That's sort of some of the stuff I think of. All right, let's get to some more picks. We had a lot of picks to cover, including some SportsLine picks in college basketball. This looks like an NIT pick and an NHL, but Martin Green, we're going to go to soccer next. These games are not for today. They're for later on in the weekend. Talk to me.
Yeah, that's correct, Sia. The international break has just ended, so all the players are going back to join their clubs again. There are a couple of games taking place Thursday and Friday. You've got Barcelona playing tomorrow. Lamine Yamal to score, looks like a good one there. And then Sheffield United, Coventry on Friday. That should be both teams to score, looks pretty good. But yeah, I just picked out a couple of games taking place at the weekend. Starting in Italy, Serie A, where Atalanta have the best away record in the league this season. 10 wins and 3 draws from 15 games, and they've scored 34 goals in that time. They found the back of the net in 13 of their 15 away games in total. However, Atalanta's defence is notoriously leaky. They're unlikely to keep a clean sheet on the road against Fiorentina, a dangerous team with some good strikers. They've scored in 11 out of 14 home games, Fiorentina. They're coming off a very impressive 3-0 victory over Juventus. So I'm keeping that one pretty simple and just going for both teams to score because it really should pay off. And in France, I believe that Auxerre should be able to beat Montpellier when the teams meet in Ligue 1. That's on Sunday. Auxerre have an excellent home record this season, 6 wins, 5 draws, and just 2 defeats from 13 games. Meanwhile, Montpellier, they're going to get relegated. They've lost 11 out of 12 away matches this season. They're bottom of the league, 8 points adrift of safety, and they're currently on a 6-game losing streak. So things are looking very bleak for Montpellier. And I'm fading them. Auxerre money line -120.
All right. We've got a lot of picks in the chat, a lot of MLB picks. And by the way, if spoiler alert, we're going to have some MLB picks on tomorrow's Early Edge show. So everybody definitely make sure you're in here for that. There was a question, Martin, I think you addressed it. It was from Jeff Stenberg, who is a very big-time family member of this show. And it was around like a Luke Littler or something. Can you address that prop that he was addressing?
Yeah, so Luke Littler is possibly the most famous sportsman in England these days. He's a darts player. He doesn't look much like an athlete. He's a big guy. I don't think he could run the 100 meters very quickly, but he's been throwing darts since he was a toddler, and he's terrific at it. So yeah, I do quite like Luke Littler over 4.5 180s at -105. That looks like a good line.
I got duped again by Jeff. Absolutely duped. I just assumed it was a soccer question. Man, Jeff gets me every single time. Okay, so let's get to a BetMGM read. We might have some actual soccer questions that we're going to get to, Martin, later in the show. We got some NBA bets and questions in there. And by the way, Danny Brasco's in the chat talking about a redemption cricket play, Kolkata Knight Riders live money line +105. I'm going to say it again. Kolkata Knight Riders live money line right now at +105. I don't bet cricket, but I might have to now because Danny's in here all the time, and he's pretty sharp when it comes to pretty much everything. All right, BetMGM, they're pretty sharp. Pick your path to tournament glory in BetMGM's free-to-play game for a chance to win a share of $250,000 for the upcoming round of March matchups. You have the opportunity to make predictions about what will happen in the games. You earn points based on a scoring system, and you could win a share of $250,000 in bonus bets based on your points earned. Here's how to get the offer. Enter the March matchups $250,000 pick'em free-to-play game. Make your picks for what you think will happen. Earn points from correct answers for a shot to win a share of bonus bets. Speaking of bets, let's transition to the SportsLine picks. Before we get to my pick, I got a golf pick for tomorrow morning. Mikey B, we have your pick, and we've got picks in the chat. We're going Kent State in college basketball, Loyola Chicago, over 144.5. That one is courtesy of Bruce Marshall, and it's -110. And the NHL, Matt Severance trying to hit another one. New York Islanders money line -120. Kent State, Loyola Chicago over 144.5, and New York Islanders money line -120. We're about to get to my golf pick. We're about to get to more NBA props right after this message from our partners.
One of golf's elite courses, Quail Hollow, hosts the game's top players at the PGA Championship this May on CBS.
Chris Kish dishing out F1 plays. We got darts plays. We got cricket plays. We've got MLB plays. We've got NBA plays, all happening in the chat. Please, if you're listening to the podcast, thank you. But if you can, try to get in here every once in a while because this is the best chat in the business. Thank you for being in here. Please always hit the like button if you can, but more importantly, participate among all of those that are participating right now. We go from cricket to golf. We're going to do a 3-ball. I mentioned this on the early wedge yesterday, a 3-ball that I was leaning toward. The reason I didn't make it an official pick yesterday is because the 3 balls had just come out in the middle of the show. So now I'm going to kind of codify it, ratify it. I'm going to take a 3-ball. It starts tomorrow morning, I believe around 8:50 in the morning. So an hour before this show, we're looking at Taylor Moore in a 3-ball. At BetMGM has the best price here at +150. I think at DraftKings and other places, it might be +140, which is fine. Taylor Moore +150 over Kurt Kitayama and Nick Dunlap. The long and short of this one is Nick Dunlap has been in really bad form. Even though it's a good course fit for him, I don't expect him to contend day one versus Taylor Moore. Kurt Kitayama, in theory, is a good course fit. He's a great ball striker, but he's been way off. Now, the way off part has been mostly the Florida swing. And sometimes when you get out of Florida and you get to Texas, where we are in the Houston Open, your game can change. But at the end of the day, Taylor Moore has good experience here, and he's a really good course setup, a good course fit. And I actually think Taylor Moore, he's one of my first-round leaders. If you missed the early wedge, I I talked about my first round leaders there. I'll also put it in the SportsLine Discord. But I do like Taylor Moore in this tournament in the first round and in all 4 rounds. So give me Taylor Moore at a really nice price, plus 150 over Kurt Kitayama and Nick Dunlap. We got a lot more picks to get to. Oh, by the way, speaking of golf, those of you that are here, stick around on this channel because at 10:30, me and Rick Gaiman are going to be doing our Houston Open live chat. We're going to be talking about some of the bets from yesterday, but we're going to be answering your questions as well, talking about new bets, one and done theory, really anything you want to talk about, betting wise or DFS related for the Houston Open. We'll be doing that from 10:30 to about 11:15, 11:30. So please join us for that as well. All right, let's get back to the NBA. Mikey B, we got Justin Edwards and Kristaps Porzingis props. Talk to us.
Yeah, we'll start out with Porzingis. We'll go over 26.5 points and rebounds for him at minus 118. The Celtics are facing the Suns here, and Jason Tatum is listed as doubtful, so do not expect him to play in this game. Porzingis has played 4 games this season without Tatum, and in 3 of those games, he had at least 27 combined points and rebounds. This is a great matchup for him against the Suns. They have the 5th worst defensive rating in the league. They struggle to slow down centers. See, here are some stat lines, recent stat lines of centers against the Suns. Brook Lopez, 23 points and 10 rebounds. Nikola Vucevic, 24 points and 6 rebounds. And Jackson Hayes, yes, Jackson Hayes, 19 points and 6 rebounds. I think Porzingis dominates this matchup and goes over 26.5 points and rebounds. And then I am going to make all of you be forced to be interested in the 76ers Wizards game tonight. We're going to do Justin Edwards over 16.5 points at minus 115. The 76ers continue to play without their top players. We know Embiid and Paul George are out for the rest of the season. Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre Jr. are still not playing. Edwards has started each of the last 5 games and averaged 36 minutes over those 5 games. He had at least 18 points in each of them. The reason why, he's shooting 37.1% from behind the arc this season. He is a very good three-point shooter. Great matchup here against an equally poor Wizards team that's played at the 4th fastest pace and has the 3rd worst defensive rating in the league. Hold your eyes open, put on the 76ers Wizards game, and go Justin Edwards over 16.5 points.
All right. We are going to watch the Sixers, which of course would be PropStarz Sixers, and I guess my Washington Wizards, because we've got a prop in that one. I don't know. Some exciting players. Alex Sarr is fun to watch, I guess. Eric David says Sixers are a dumpster fire. I'll tail, but I refuse to watch, and I live in the Philly area. That's a completely fair take. Campaign, Dano at the beginning of the show. I'm going to kick this to you, PropStarz, and then Mikey B, if you have any follow-up, please feel free. Dano says campaign under 17.5 points, rebounds, and assists at minus 115 at BetMGM. He's under in 9 of 10, including last night in a starting spot. Your thoughts, Proppy?
I don't like that. I love that play, actually. Ooh. I think that's phenomenal. If I wasn't already fading Cat in this game, just a lot of exposure, in my opinion, if the game ends up being paced up and high scoring for me to be comfortable with, since I'm already fading Cat, obviously. But I think that's a great look.
Mikey B, Chris Kish says, your background looks like a fake background. That's how perfect it is. What a compliment, right?
Wow, thank you. It is not fake. And hopefully soon you can see the baseballs behind me are going to move to another spot because I have another Dream Team jersey to hang up. I've got 3 away from getting a signed jersey from every member of the Dream Team. So you'll see a little bit. But not
Wait, so can you tell us which jersey you're about to get and hang up?
I have Charles Barkley. It's already in the case. I just haven't hung it up yet because we got to redo some walls down here. This is like the kids area down here. I get like this one corner to kind of look like I'm a person here. My wife has allowed me one corner. If I were to move the camera, it would not be pretty. But yeah, I have this one corner that I have to keep clean.
What a really cool collection. So does that mean you have Magic Johnson's signed jersey? Because I have his jersey behind me right now.
Yes, the only 3 that I'm missing is Michael Jordan, Patrick Ewing, and John Stockton. I have every other member of the Dream Team.
All right. Martin Green, I do want to ask you if there's anything soccer related. Sorry to so quickly change the subject, by the way. Soccer related to, like in terms of the chat. I do want to also remind everybody, Liddy says, if we reach 100 likes, it's a guaranteed winning recap for tomorrow. So that's actually been true. If we've actually gotten to over 100 likes during our live show, of course, after the show, we get to, 500 or whatever it is. But during the live show, if we get over 100 likes, we have a really clean record when it comes to winning recap screens. So, hey, y'all, sometimes it's up to you, not up to us. Martin, anything soccer related you need to address?
There's a lot of soccer related chat, but not necessarily to do with picks. A lot of discussion about Trent Alexander-Arnold's future. He looks like he's moving from Liverpool to Real Madrid on a free transfer, which is a tough blow for Liverpool because they won't get any money for him. But yeah, it could be a good move potentially for him. And a bit of a post-mortem of Brazil's disastrous performance against Argentina yesterday. They suffered a shock 4-1 defeat to their fierce rivals, which is very embarrassing for them. So they really need to turn things around quickly. But yeah, no. If anyone wants to ask about any games, I'm still in the chat for another couple of minutes. So hit me up.
All right. Scott Davis says Dallas Stars 60-minute play plus 105. No McDavid, no Leon for Edmonton. No chance Stars win. This is an easy, again, a 60-minute play. Dallas Stars plus 105. I know Scott is he's a hockey capper, so let's see how that one goes. Matthew Curtis has a future on BYU. Matthew, here's what I'd say. I'd say get in the SportsLine Discord. Because I think guys like Tom and Mike McClure would be better suited to answer your question. And if you're not a member of SportsLine for some reason, maybe get into this chat tomorrow and we'll talk to you about that potential BYU hedge. It looks like you have them at 90-1 to win it all, which, by the way, I love that play. I like BYU pre-tournament as well. So get into this chat tomorrow. But if you're not a member of SportsLine, it's super easy and frankly, very inexpensive. I just want to tell everybody who's listening, sportsline.com/join. That's how you get there. And if you type in the promo code winners, you get 60% off the annual plan. And then once you're a member, you can go to our Discord, discord.gg/sportsline, gets you our Discord. And we have different channels for every sport. And we have experts across every sport talking about what you want to talk about. PropStarz, go ahead.
Two things real quick. First and foremost, if you hit the like button, the betting gods will definitely smile favorably upon you. That has been proven to be a fact. Two, I haven't brushed up on my Dream Team knowledge, Mike Barner, but wasn't Chris Mullen a member of the Dream Team? And I know Christian Leitner was. You have Christian Leitner and Mullen?
Ooh. Chris Mullen is right there. Christian Leitner is off camera. He is tucked in a corner where he belongs. It costs more for the case than it did for the signed jersey for Christian Leitner.
He was an incredible collegiate player.
But yes, he's just tucked over there where no one can see him.
That's so cool.
Where he belongs. And I wanted to add one thing.
Yeah.
I think it was Jeff in the chat asked about Kristaps Porzingis over 2.5 3-pointers at plus money. I actually prefer, if you want to throw something at Porzingis at plus money, I bet him to record a double-double at plus 360. He has had a couple of double-doubles recently, and the Suns, like we said, they're giving up tons of production to center. So I would rather go the plus 360 route on that double-double for Porzingis.
That's a great number. Go ahead, Proppy.
Not to mention Tatum off the court also gives them a lot more rebounding opportunities.
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Giovanni Duran says, new SportsLine member worth every cent. I don't that is the prevailing take. I mean, I don't know how else to say it without sounding fake about the SportsLine narrative, but there's so much that SportsLine has to offer, even beyond the picks themselves. That Giovanni, we appreciate that comment. And it's really, that's a consistent comment across anybody who's joined SportsLine. By the way, Christian Leitner, a little underrated, I think. I thought he had a solid NBA career. He was never a star, but he was always a solid contributor, even to your Mikey B. Washington Wizards. Probably you got the last word.
He played in the NBA for like 15 years. That's incredibly impressive. So, and he was on those Heat teams that I believe with Wade and Shaq that won the championship too. So he was certainly a good rotational player at the very least.
Dano says the Leitner autograph actually hurts the value of that wall. I will not stand for that, Dano. Absolutely not. Okay, by the way,
it's covering up a hole. There's a hole. Instead of paying someone to spackle it, it's just easier to put a Leitner jersey.
He's responsible for the greatest shot in college basketball history as well.
That's a fact. Christian, if you're watching, ignore everybody. We appreciate you very much and your entire career. All right, let's take a look at the recap screen. Good job getting way over 100 likes, by the way. A lot of picks here. Mine is for tomorrow, and of course, Martin Green's is for later on as well. But we got Taylor Moore plus 150 over Kurt Kitayama and Nick Dunlap. That starts tomorrow morning before tomorrow's early edge. Okay, we've got Kristaps Porzingis over 26.5 points and rebounds at minus 118. And don't forget about what Mikey B said about the double-double at plus 360. Justin Edwards over 16.5 points at minus 115. That one also from Mikey B. Cat Karl Anthony Towns under 27.5 points at -135. And these are the Martin plays for later on. Fiorentina and Atalanta, both teams to score -125. And I think I'm going to pronounce this right. Auxerre, money line -120. I might have gotten it completely wrong. Either way, let's take a look at the sports line picks before we get you out of here. Kent State, Loyola, Chicago over 144.5 at -110. And then New York Islanders, money line -120. All right, those are the picks. We got so much more content coming, including in literally 4 minutes on this channel. I'll be with Rick Gaiman talking golf for the next hour. Join us, have some fun with us, ask some questions, or just be a part of the experience. But thank you for being a part of this experience every single Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning. We really appreciate you. Gipper's Picks, Eric David, CM, Joe Neuenfeld, Liddy. Thank you, everybody, for being in here. Have a great day. On behalf of PropStarz, on behalf of Ben on the ones and twos, on behalf of Mikey B, on behalf of Goose, let's see. On behalf of everybody giving the sports line picks, and of course Martin Green, it's gonna be a great Wednesday, everybody. We'll see you soon. We'll see you in 2 minutes. We rest our case for now.